What a great start for the week. We are ending a repeat for the 10th time at the high point of the day and higher than the opening highs, which is quite remarkable considering what we've been through in the recent past. So 1.9% or for the Sensex and the Nifty, 1.5% for the Nifty Bank as well, despite all these news issues surrounding the PSU banks. And the mid caps and the small caps, well, maybe not as much, but still you will be happy with a percent piece kind of a performance that the small cap and the mid cap indices have put in. So you shouldn't complain about this. What about individual stocks? Let's get them on the screen. I'm sure the market breadth is positive, but look at that. Bharti Airtel up 5%. NTPC about 4%, ITC is gained about 4%, that's a heavyweight and the top contributor. And then the clutch of banks, Tata Motors bounces back, yes, but Yes Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank amongst others. So all of them have done well. Reliance Industries is putting on some gains, so about a couple of percentage points for that one as well. And IT by and large has done okay. Infosys, HCL Tech and some of the others have all contributed. Hardly any losers. You have to go to the bottom of the screen for the losers, and that too is just Coal India, which is just about doing okay. SBI too has recovered about 1.5% in the last few minutes of trade. So all in all, on the Sensex 30, just one stock worth its salt. Talking about, I mean, on the losers side, almost everything has gains, and I'm sure that the market breadth has improved meaningfully, even though the mid caps and the small cap indices haven't done as well as the large caps have.
That's right, Neeraj. As we mentioned, the day belonged to the large cap, but some bit of recovery definitely seen for the broader markets in the last hour of trade as Nifty also closes at day's high. The sugar pack, which was down last week, saw some bit of respite. So you had the Dhampur sugar, which gained nearly 11%, and that's closing around the day's high mark. And not only that, the entire pocket saw some bit of respite. So you had Mavana sugar also, which surged in the last half an hour of trade. Sanghi Industries from the cement space has had a really good day. That stock saw a surge of nearly 8%, closing around the level of 119. Reliance Capital, one of the top gainers among the F&O securities, that stock also saw some buying, in fact, coming in the last 1 hour of trade or so, closing around the day's high, 5.5% higher for that. And United Spirits, a counter which was in focus right from the word go in the morning, because the ENA taxation related to GST was not discussed in the GST Council meet. And Century Textile, Jindal World are a couple of the other counters from the broader market which had a good day. Well, on the flip side, you had IDBI Bank, a bank which was actually outperforming the other PSU banking stocks. It's finally come under pressure in the last 2 to 3 sessions. So that one was down. Andhra Bank, which touched 14-year low today, saw some bit of covering coming in the last half an hour of trade, but still closing in the red. And finally, PFC was under pressure. That stock touched its fresh 52-week low in today's trade, Neeraj.
Yeah, so those set of pain points remain, but by and large, the market looking optimistic today. Bring up the market breadth, bring up the turnover picture, and you will see, yes, I mean, some bit of opening up of the market breadth. Remember, it had contracted quite a bit, and for better part of the day, actually, or a large portion of the day, the declines edged higher than the advances. But I think the last half an hour, the advances moved up ahead. So even Stevens here, the turnover should come up on your screen. I think it would have picked up towards the latter half of trade, but subpar, maybe at par for the F&O, if I'm not wrong, Navneet, but the cash market volumes are subpar on the NSE at least. The BSE volumes doing just about okay, but the F&O volumes
just about above average. Usually the average number is somewhere between 5 to 5.5 lakh crores. So the rally which one saw today, Neeraj, could be attributed to short covering rally as well, because the last hour of trade we did see some bit of recovery coming in for the PSU banking stocks.
Entirely, and I think even the Nifty gainers as well, the heat map will show you that a clutch of these names are the ones which haven't participated at all in the recent past. ITC, when the last time you saw ITC make such a meaningful move, or Bharti Airtel being so high, and commodities came off, right? Remember, we were talking about this in the morning in the trade setup too, that, you know, can commodities come back after what happened on the LME overnight? And Vedanta, Hindalco, standing testimony to that. Tata Motors, so badly beaten down, coming back with a bang, 3%. So it's not been a bad day, but a lot of losers gaining in the session today.
Yeah.
Not that the large private banks really, aside of the last half an hour.
In fact, on YTD basis, the ones which were topping the chart on the downside were stocks like Bharti Airtel and also Tata Motors, which had tumbled between 18 to 20%. So
and Hindalco.
Hindalco too. So there is some bit of buying which came in at lower levels. And Coal India, I think, was under pressure because the dividend which they announced of 16 rupees, that's disappointed the street. They were expecting higher dividend. I think that's the only reason why Coal India fell in today's session.